Hi there, I'm Chloe Johnson, and today I'm going to be leading a workshop using Augusto Boal's techniques on movement and breathing to help the actor get out of their head and break the habitual mechanisms they may already have preconceived in order to create characters more freely. Our muscles activated, we are going to do a 1-minute jog just to get everything activated and get more oxygen in the blood by increasing the breathing. So, whenever we're ready, we're going to do a little bit of a jog on the spot. So, 1 whole minute. Yep, 1 whole minute. Increase the speed a little bit. So we're going to do some knees up. And legs up. You should be starting to feel a little bit warmer now. And just go back to jogging on the spot. Right. Now that we've got our hearts up a little bit, heart rate up a bit more, we're going to start by doing some breathing exercises. So, as part of these breathing exercises, Augusto Boal states that we can use muscles that we can control to help regulate ones that we can't. So, in this, when the actor is really nervous and tightened up, your heartbeat goes really, really fast. So, instead of trying to control that and go, hey, slow down, because you can't do that, he argues, and that's what we're going to be trying to demonstrate today, that we can use muscles that we can control, such as breathing, to try and regulate that so that the actor can feel more in control of the muscles that they can consciously control, so that their minds are not spiraling out of control as they feel like, oh my gosh, the snowball effect doesn't start to happen. For this first exercise, we're going to be laying down on the floor after we've caught our breath after the cardio. So, in this, I might lie sideways actually. We're going to be lying down on the floor. Now, the first thing we're going to do is expel all the air out of the thorax area, and then try and concentrate on once it all fully out, where they're going to try and build it fully back in, really expanding everything. So, whenever you're ready. Good. So, for the next part of the exercise, we're going to only concentrate on our breathing and filling up the lower part of the abdomen so you can really feel the diaphragm starting to work. So just imagine that there's a little balloon in your lower abdomen and you're really trying to fill that all the way up and then all the way out. So again, whenever you're ready. Very good. Now for the second part, we're going to switch it around. So you're going to try and concentrate on only filling up the top half. You might find this helps you stretch your arms out as you were doing this, and really just visualize filling up the chest cavity at the top and the shoulders. So this whole area right here. Don't mind me. You should really feel your shoulders compress with this. Very good. Now what we're going to try and do is place all of them back together so that you really feel that everything is expanding and decompressing at the same time. So try and visualize the entire thorax, chest cavity and shoulders all going up and down.
I found that by the end of the exercises that my shoulders and thorax were far more open and relaxed, which was really nice and had made me focus a lot more. I had also found that by relaxing my diaphragm and posture and controlling my breathing a lot more, my heart rate had actually decreased, meaning I felt a lot calmer too.
So now that the chest cavity is nice and relaxed, we're going to move on to a second breathing exercise, which will let the actor use their imagination as well as their breathing exercises to try and control and regulate their breathing and movement a bit more. This exercise is called pulling the plug on the actor. So you're going to need a partner for this, and then label yourselves A and B. B is going to imagine that they are an inflatable doll with a stopper. The stopper can be anywhere you imagine it, like a finger, a knee, wherever you want it to be. Person A is then going to pull the plug out and let the air out of person B, and person B will slowly deflate as this doll was, fully imagining and believing truthfully that they are an inflatable doll that is now letting out air and until they're fully deflated on the floor. Person A is then going to reapproach person B and they're going to reinflate person B using a pump, which they again are truthfully going to act out, making all the noises and actions that they would as an air pump. Person B will then reinflate and breathe in at the same time that person A is using the pump. So with that in mind, until they are fully inflated again. With that in mind, we'll start the exercise. So. Thank you for helping me with that, Emily. So through that, I hope you guys had some fun whilst doing it too, because it really does stimulate the imagination. I also personally found whilst doing it that it was an awful lot harder, especially having to move around and actually consider the imagination of, you know, how would an inflatable doll actually behave as opposed to a person. Now obviously there are some logistical issues with that, like people have joints and inflatable dolls do not. So I found that was really useful in that helping me be so considered in what I was doing that I wasn't no longer then thinking about, oh, am I doing this right? Am I not doing this right? And policing my own thoughts. That I just had to consider, I'm in this instance an inanimate object, so how would that inanimate object behave in relation to the space that is as opposed to a person? Now that our breathing has been a lot more regulated, we can take a moment and sit down because these next exercises do not require to stand up, although you're free to do so if you'd like and think that would be more helpful for you. We're now going to look at restructuring how our muscles behave and undoing some of the mechanisms that we have already preconceived. So the muscles tend to get very hard and frigid, particularly say an activity as simple as walking. We will find that they get hard and rigid because in your brain, subconsciously, your brain knows how to walk. So what we're going to do is do what appear to be very simple exercises, but in fact they are a lot more complicated than they might first appear. So the first one is very simple. I'm going to preface this by saying this exercise you are most likely going to fail at, and that's okay. And that sounds like a funny thing to say, but by allowing you to know that you're going to fail, hopefully that will allow you to just go, oh well, I'll just give it a go anyway, so there's not as much pressure on you. So it's very simple. With your right hand, you're just going to draw a circle or use your hand to describe what you think a circle looks and feels like. Very good. Now with your left hand, you're going to do the same, but you're going to imagine a cross instead. So whatever you picture a cross to be, that is what you will do. Good. Now for the hard part. I'm going to try and do two together at once. It's okay if you don't find this. Augusto Boal even said that when he tried this in the group of 30 people he had, only one person managed to do it. So just relax and just give it a go, and if you have a laugh, then that's okay. Very good, and stop there. How did you find that?
I was a lot slower.
Yeah, I found that like one of my hands was stopping.
Yeah,
like, oh, hang on.
When I was stopping at like an angle of the cross, the step was just like, oh wait.
yeah, that's what I found. So, as I said, you didn't need to achieve anything in that. It was just trying to. One hand usually follows the other. So, in terms of character work, how we explore rhythms, and that can be very interesting. And I personally found that there was a moment I was like, oh goodness, why can't I get this? But when I kind of went, it's okay, just keep going with it, that allowed me to be a lot freer in my expression and just explore. So, for this next exercise, we are going to be looking at a concept within movement called the equilibrium of the body with an object. So, for this exercise, you're going to need some kind of object. We are using books, but what it is does not matter. It could be a pencil, it could be a shoe, whatever is nearest to you. So for this, you are going to use your object. We're going to put away the chairs in a second, but we can stay seated for now. And we are going to be looking at the different ways that we can hold this object. You're going to try and find as many ways as possible to hold this object in relation to you. So you could be holding it out, you could be holding it up, whatever it is that you want to do, and we are going to try and explore all the different ways that you can loosen up your body and hold the object. The other thing that you're going to be doing at the same time is you are going to then be also moving your body in relation to the floor. So whilst holding the object, you're also going to be moving your body around and finding every conceivable way of moving your body onto the object, onto the floor in different ways, and just exploring which other ways that you maybe naturally wouldn't move your body. And the main thing that you are going to be hopefully looking for in this is seeing how your body moves in relation to the gravity of the object and into relation of the space that you were in.
So, for this exercise, don't worry about dropping the book or judging yourself. It's not about that. It is about trying to relax and find different ways to move your body and relax and find different ways of breaking those habitual mechanisms. I found that when I was doing this workshop exercise that I almost reverted into somewhat of a childlike state in rediscovering where my muscles were and how they worked.
So this brings us on to our next one, which is called dissociate coordination movements. So with this, we're going to walk around this space. We are going to allow each of our different limbs to have a different rhythm. So one might be really slow, one could be going super fast. Allow yourself to discover and play with. You can add in other actions such as what I'm doing just now, which is eating, but potentially your mouth's not keeping up at the same time, blinking, winking, whatever you like. Much harder than it looked. I definitely found it took me a moment, but it was nice to kind of relate back to the first exercise we did, which is like different hand movements, for example. I found that really helped when I was considering like which, this hand's doing something totally different to this one. It didn't quite translate to my legs, but that's okay because we're still exploring, and definitely with more practice, that is something that can be built on to be able to explore further character movement. Right, so for this last exercise that we're going to do, it's going to be a culmination now that we have loosened up our bodies and relaxed and allowed them to move in ways that we might not have considered previously. We are going to now try an exercise which is a bit of an improv, which is about awaking dormant parts of ourselves. So, In this, you're going to begin with scenario, and we will also act out, but the whole idea is that you will be exploring in different ways that you react, and maybe allow yourself in different ways to react how you might not normally react, and see that, like, how you behave in that situation. Please try and make it as truthful as possible. It's not performance, it's just awakening a dormant part of yourself that you maybe didn't know existed or hadn't properly contemplated. Hey, mind if I sit here?
Yeah, sure.
Cheers. Like your shoes.
Thanks, they're just shoes.
No, they're a nice colour. They match your eyes.
Thanks.
You're cute. What's your name?
Emily.
Emily. Nice to meet you. I'm Chloe.
Hi, Chloe. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just chilling out, you know. Just got an hour break from my lunch.
Yeah.
What about you?
Just like to come and sit in the park sometimes, you know, like watch people and stuff.
Oh, cool. See anyone weird?
a couple of people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Shouldn't do that. You're wearing your cuticles. Oh my god, you've got such like tiny little hands. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, like, what do you do normally?
I like to.
Sorry, you just got like a.
Sorry, thanks. Yeah. I like to be on my own a lot, so I like my own company. You know, I'm more of I'm like a lone wolf kind of person.
No. Well, every lone wolf needs to run with the pack eventually, don't they?
No, no, they don't. No.
No.
Nah.
Oh, shame. You're just so cute. Maybe.
Yeah. When's your lunch finish?
Oh, not for like another 45 minutes.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, that's awesome.
I was gonna go to Tesco's if you want to come with.
No, I'm alright, but you can go, it's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, off you go, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Well, you know, maybe before I go, I've got your number. Yes? Come on.
I don't know. I don't know my number. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's not your phone.
Yeah, but I don't have my phone's like broken. It's like, no, it's out of battery. It's out, like, I can't turn it on. Do you know what I mean?
I've got a charger in my car if you want.
No,
Oh, come on. You're being such a killjoy. Come on, go get a coffee. Come on.
I think I'm alright, you know. I think I've got someone's waiting for me. I'm waiting for someone. They're coming here. So yeah.
When are they getting here?
What time is it now?
5:30, I think.
Like 5 minutes ish. Like they're late.
Look, okay, if you just want me to leave you alone, you could have just said, okay? I was just trying to be nice.
No, it's fine. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Well, you're just being a bit of a fucking rude bitch, honestly, so just have fun. Frigid bitch. Yeah, that was the end of my workshop. I really hope you enjoyed it and that you get something out of it that you can help with your characterization. I definitely know that I will be using some of the exercises as well to help me further develop my character work. I think this kind of work would be really good to then go on and, you know, practice doing a monologue or doing a wider scene and see how reactions might change. So thank you very much for attending.